Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Sid and this is Sydney Reads. So before we start this video, I first want to give all my prayers and love to everyone who's been affected by the back-to-back typhoons we've had here in the Philippines. I will put some links down below on places you can go to send out your donations. So just feel free to click those links, or you can ask around your community or your friends where the drop-off sites are near you so you can drop off your donations. I know that it's been a hard time for all of us. Personally, it's been hard to function knowing that your countrymen are suffering, but we need to go on and we just need to do everything we can to help. So let's just keep praying for all the typhoon victims and pray that things get better in the following days. So in this video, I want to show you the 10 books that I want to finish before 2020 ends. This year, I came back from my reading slump and I've just been reading a lot, and I'm reading different kinds of books. And this video will be a reminder for me to finish them all. So here we are. So the first book is the one I'm currently reading right now, and that is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. And this whole book is a letter from the narrator, Little Dog, to his mom who cannot read. So far, I really like it. It's written beautifully and it deserves all the raves that it got from the community. And yeah, I can't wait to finish this one. Next book that I have was actually my birthday gift to myself back in October, and that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This book is about 4 friends who are Willem, JB, Malcolm, and Jude. And this book is very popular in the community. You've probably heard of this through the years. Everyone's talking about this. You can see this all over BookTube and Goodreads, and everyone's saying that this is hella depressing. And so I'm actually preparing myself for that because I don't know if I'm in the right state of mind to read a depressing book, but I can't wait to read this and cry a lot. The next book I want to read is Radio Silence. So I don't own a physical copy, I have an ebook. So I found out about this book because of Paperback Dreams, because she's my favorite booktuber as of the moment. I've only heard good reviews about this book, that's why I'm excited to read it. So yeah. So the next book I want to read is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. So this book is kind of a novelization of history, and I feel like it's just nice to read history for fun because, you know, most history books are huge and old and boring. And I got this early this year. I can't even remember buying it, but I've been wanting to read it since then. I want to start it this month, so I really hope I get to finish it. The next 2 books I want to show you are the books I want to reread this year, and those are my 2 favorite young adult books. And first, I want to read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline because the second book is coming out, which is Ready Player 2. And I love this book. I read it back in 2015 or 16, around that time. And I remember that it was such a fun time. So that's why I consider this book as one of my favorite young adult books to this day. And since the second book is coming up, I want to refresh my mind on what happened in the first book. So I want to reread it before I get the second book. And the next book I want to reread is my favorite book of all time, which is Everybody Sees the Ants by Ace King. And this one I haven't read in a long time. I think the last time I read this was 2017, before I left the Philippines for work. Since I had a terrible reading slump for 2 years, I wanted to revisit my favorite books just to see if they're still going to be my favorite books or if my taste changed and I wouldn't love them as much anymore. But I'm hoping that I will love this book forever because I remember it being so amazing. So fingers crossed to that. Speaking of A.S. King, I have A.S. King's book. I crawled through it, and after I read Everybody Sees the Ants, I just told myself I'm going to read every book A.S. King wrote. I've read Still Life with Tornado this year and I loved it, so I'm really hoping I love this one as well. Another favorite author of mine besides A.S. King is David Levithan, and so I can't end the year without reading one of his works. So I have 19 Love Songs by David Levithan, and this is a short story collection. I feel so bad because this is my most anticipated read of 2020 and I haven't read it yet. So I promised myself that I'm going to read this one before 2020 ends, just because I love David Levithan so much and I love this cover. Second to the last book I have is You by Carolyn Katniss, and you've probably heard of this because this was turned into a Netflix series starring... who's that guy again? The guy that played Don Humphreys in Gossip Girl. So this story is about this guy named Joe who is a psycho stalker, and he met this girl named Beck in the bookstore where he works in, and he started stalking her. This is one of those books that if you just see it for what it is, not a romance, it's hella entertaining and so good. So this is one of those books that are like junk food to me because you know the main character is terrible, but you're just enjoying reading them, if that makes sense. So the last book I want to read before 2020 ends is a book that I want to read during Christmas, and that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Look at this beautiful edition I got in fully book. So nice. Beautiful. This is so nice. I'm so happy I got this edition. So the reason why I want to read that is because this year, early this year, I went and watched Little Women, the 2019 version, with my roommate at the time, and we had so much fun, and I loved the movie. I watched it 3 times by now, and I also watched the 1994 version. I feel like right now I just know the story so well, and I just want to read the book to know more about the March sisters, and I love each of them so much. My favorite character is Amy. Florence Pugh, who played Amy in the 2019 version, did a stellar job playing her, and she became my favorite character, and I want to know who I'm going to like best in the book. So yeah, I'm excited to read it, and I'm planning to read it Christmas time because I know that this book started during Christmas time. So that's it, guys. That's all the books that I want to read before this year ends. I know that this year has been very difficult for all of us. It has been very difficult for me, but reading has been my way to cope throughout the year. And I'm so grateful for books because they are really my best friends throughout this pandemic and quarantine and all the calamities that happen. I hope that you're all staying safe and keeping strong. We can all get through this. We just need to be there for each other. And again, if you want to help the typhoon victims, feel free to check out my links down below. Any amount will be a big help for all the typhoon victims. If you have any suggestions for me, feel free to comment down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you again on my next video. Bye.